Welcome to Drinks with Lucas. This is my basement bar in the depths of the great state of New York, and we are going to be making a couple drinks today. The first one is the Vieux Carre. Last year I was down in New Orleans and we were walking through the streets and I wanted to grab a drink, so I Googled, a nice cocktail lounge, and it took me to the Carousel bar. And I had a couple drinks. The drinks were pretty good. And it's a bar where there's literally a carousel going slowly in a circle. So when you're sitting at the bar, you're spinning while you're enjoying your drink. So I thought it was a super cool bar. I believe it's a hotel. We had a couple drinks and then we left. And then when I was kind of discovered the Vieux Carre, it originated in that bar. And I was like, damn it, I should have had a Vieux Carre in the bar that it originated in, but I didn't. But I got to make it at home. I've heard that their Vieux Carre is okay. Bars like that tend to be, they're so popular. They pump out so many drinks. It's going to be probably not as good as some of the smaller cocktail lounges, but it still would have been cool to try. But we're going to make it today for you. So let's go over to my little liquor shelf and pick out what we're going to need. All right, here's my little liquor shelf. We need a rye whiskey, so I'm going to do a little Knob Creek 7. And then we're going to need a cognac. Don't want to go too expensive because it's for mixing. It's classic old Hennessy. And then we're going to need some benedictine. I love this stuff. If you should add this to your collection and make some cocktails with it, you won't be disappointed. So these are 3 bottles we're going to need. And then for the second drink, we're going to need some bourbon. Bourbon. What bourbon do I want? I'm going to go with Willet. I used a little higher proof in the second cocktail before. I think a little lower proof is actually better. We're going to go with a little Willet. All right, lastly, we need some vermouth. Always keep your vermouth in the refrigerator. Makes it last longer. I'm going with Dolan's. I drive 45 minutes to get this stuff. It's my favorite. I've tried a bunch. What is your favorite sweet vermouth? Because I'm always down to try new ones, but Dolan's is my favorite, even over Antica. So we got all the stuff now. So we're going to start off pretty simple to build this cocktail with 3/4 of an ounce of rye whiskey. And then we're going to be doing 3/4 of an ounce of cognac. And then we're going to be doing 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth. And then 1 bar spoon is equal to 5 milliliters of benedictine. Then 2 dashes of angostura bitters. 2 dashes of peychaud bitters, which is a Creole style bitter. Then we're going to grab our ice. Drop some ice into our glass. I got these cool little molds. Always making ice. Now, this is the split base version, and it is my favorite version. So the other versions, you can do all rye whiskey, so you would do 1.5 ounces of rye, or they have it where it's 1.5 ounces of cognac. I think that doing a split base just is the perfect blend, because you have the sweetness of the cognac. If you use only cognac, it's a little too sweet. If you use all rye, it's a little too hot. I think this is my favorite, so this is the way I'm going to make it. So we're going to stir this down a bit. Normally I cut this part out, but I think we're almost through the stirring. All right, perfect. Now, of course, I have to grab my strainer. And then I have to grab a glass. I don't know what glass I want. I'm just going to go with this. And we're going to grab a big cube. Drop it into our glass. Do a nice strain right over top of that. I'm telling you, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this drink, especially if you like Manhattans. Now, we're gonna grab a nice lemon. Grab a nice big peel. All right, perfect. I just like to clean it up a little bit, especially for the thumbnail. So we're just gonna cut all that right there. Got a bigger lemon. Get some of those oils, express the oils over the cocktail. Just drop it in the back. And that right there is the Vieux Carre. So, let's give it a try. Oh, just blends perfectly. So sweet, not too hot, not too sweet. Cognac, just everything just goes together perfectly. You get the spices, the peychaud adds just a nice little flair to it. Some herbal notes from the benedictine. That is just delicious. So now we're going to do the Peakness Manhattan, which is a little bit of a rip-off of the Vieux Carre, but I really like it. So we're going to set this one off to the side, and I'm just going to wash out my my utensils. This is for the Peakness Manhattan, 1.5 ounces of bourbon. And then we're just going to do 1/4 ounce of cognac. So very little cognac. Or benedictine. This is probably why I really like this. I really like benedictine. So we're going to be doing 1/2 ounce of benedictine. And then 1/2 ounce of sweet vermouth. And 3 dashes of angostura bitters. We grab our ice. And we're going to stir. All right, now this is stirred down. Grab our strainer. I'm going to put this in a Nick and Nora glass. Let's go. Bring it on in. We're going to do a little lemon twist. Clean it up a little bit. Twist it over top. And make it look pretty. And that is the Peakness Manhattan. Ooh, that is just fantastic. I kind of like the extra benedictine. I kind of like the bourbon. Just a touch of the cognac kind of sweetens it up a little bit with the sweet vermouth. It's just so much flavor packed in one little. I think the Peakness might be my favorite over the Vieux Carre, but the Vieux Carre is so good as well. I think they're just both great in their own way. I'm gonna end up drinking both of these, but it's okay. Worked like a 10-hour day today. 2 drinks won't kill me. Try them both out. Pretty similar. It's all the same ingredients other than the peychauds and the rye, but let me know what you think. Let me know which one you like better. Give me some drink ideas, what you want to see, and I'll catch you in another one. Skull.